Hey Clear Lake peeps, Ross England here at Clear Lake Guide Service with your fishing report for February 25th, I think it is. Didn't wear a watch today, sorry. Part of the problem with not having, a real job. Okay, so I've been out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I've been out 4 days this week. Let me get to your conditions first. The conditions are, I've seen water temperature this afternoon as high as 55. And it's kind of, depending on where you are around the lake, it's between 53 and a half and 55. And that's late afternoon. And obviously, you know what, that's just water temperature, in the top foot and a half, maybe 2 feet of depth. So it's coming along pretty good. The morning lows the last couple of days have been in the mid to high 30s. So, this afternoon with 70-degree days, today is supposed to be 60-something. Don't fool yourself into thinking that, the bite's wide open. So that's the water temp. Clarity, it's a real mix. I'm telling you folks, it's all over the board. It's anywhere from a brownish color like we've seen for the last couple of weeks to, I was in some water this week that, we could see fish coming up from 4 feet, 4.5 feet. That was down below the Narrows. Up here where I'm sitting today in the upper end of the lake, about 2 is about the clearest that I've been able to find. So there's water clarity. Lake level, the lake has come up. Let's all celebrate. It's now 1.1 foot Rumsey. So it's come up about 1.5 inches in the last 2 weeks. I'm telling you, we're going to be in real trouble. So nothing else going on there. Kelsey Creek is not running at all. Adobe is dry, and there's a little bit of stain coming in from Rodman, so there's obviously some water coming in there. We had snow the weekend before, so up in the higher country here on the North Shore, so there was obviously a little bit of runoff that's coming down through Scotts and Middle Creek and all that drainage up in there. So there's your water conditions. Activities for next week, for this coming weekend. There is a new gen, and I'm assuming it's a team tournament on Sunday. Not sure. The last one they went out of Konocti Harbor. Probably going to do the same thing. Don't know how big a turnout they're going to have, but it is a team event on Sunday, so I'm sure there's probably going to be some pre-fishing going on Saturday as well. It's the only activity that I know of. I did hear, which is just a new thing, a tournament that was canceled for Shasta that was, I think it was an FLW or Toyota Series, something like that, that was supposed to have taken place a couple weeks back, has been moved to Clear Lake in the middle of July. It's around July 8th or something like that. It'll be posted somewhere, and it doesn't really matter that much since it's only February right now. So fishing. Here's my story. I'm, with the exception of today, pretty much averaging 10 fish a day. It's just the way it is. It doesn't make any difference what I'm throwing, how hard I'm working, which end of the lake I'm fishing. I've had, in those 10 fish a day, with the exception of today, I spent a whole lot of my day just running side imaging, just looking for stuff, and I spent a very short amount of time fishing. I had my smallest limit today. I ended up with 7 fish today, and I probably only had about 2, 4, 6.5, and a couple of fish, yeah, maybe 9 pounds, super small. I'm sure that a couple of the fish were right on the borderline of being 13-inch keepers, which we're not very good at guessing those because, you know, we usually don't have to handle them here. The rest of the limits were between 18 and 19 pounds. Good solid fish. Had one day that we had a 6 and almost 6 1/4 and a 5. Other than that are bigger fish. The rest of the week were 4-pounders, which today 3-pounder was the best fish. They've come anywhere from about 2 feet of water to as deep as about 23, and everywhere in between. So obviously I've got no pattern. I'm just fishing. I mean, just literally just fishing. And you know, some of the practice that I've been doing, I'll come out one day and have a pretty decent day and think, okay, I got something figured out. No, basically all I did was I had a pretty good day for myself, and most of it doesn't work the next day or the day after. You know, a real case in point was I spent one day, and I've never done this, I just started down in Pepperwood Cove and put on an underspin, and I just fished all the way up to Ciego, where I'm sitting right now, and all the way through Lucerne. And I caught 10 fish, had about 18.5 pounds. Didn't learn a thing, couldn't repeat any of it. They were just fish that were just there at the time. Came up and ate the bait. I've caught fish this week on underspins, on drop shot, and shaky head. Those are the 3 things that we've caught fish on this week. Tried a little bit with a square bill today, and I couldn't get bit on it. Threw chatterbait around a little bit, couldn't get bit on that either. One day we were fishing a jig while one person was fishing a shaky head, and all we did was lost jigs. So you know, the only place that I really haven't checked is down around the Rattlesnake Arm, and that's just because I know there's so many people fishing down there. I'm just trying to look for something different and look for some better numbers, and I'm just having a hard time doing it. I don't want to say the bite's tough, because if you get in the right place, you can do pretty well. Today's a good example. It wasn't, you know, a weight of fish to write home about, but I had 2 fish until I got to one dock, and then I caught 6 fish off of one dock. I mean, it took me a while to catch them, and I had to work at it, but you know, I caught 6. There was a couple of the days that we were catching underspin fish. It seemed like we caught 2 whenever. If we caught 1, we caught 2. Same thing with worms. If we caught 1, we caught 2, or we caught a bunch more. So I'm not going to say that the fishing is good. I think it's tough. I think what makes up for a lot of stuff is the fact that the average fish is just so nice. I mean, they're just in such good shape, fat bellies. They're just, you know, some of the 4-pound fish that we've caught this week, you look at them and say that's a 3-pounder, and you put them on the scale and you go, whoops, that was 4. That was 4 1/4. So they're in really good shape. The weather's been good this week, which is also a bonus as well. So I really haven't spent any time at all fishing any of the stuff that's over on the south shore of the Upper End, you know, from Lakeport back to the state park. I just haven't found, I'm still struggling to find a comfort level with something that I can try to fish and expand on. It just seems whatever I find, it's something that works for today, and you know, I may be able to get a fish or 2 out of it, out of the work, you know, a couple days down the road, but probably not. So I'm waiting for, you know, this water temperature. It's pretty exciting to see, you know, mid-50s late in the day, but you know, the bottom line is until, you know, we start seeing morning air temperature lows up in the high 40s, I don't think we're going to really see a whole lot of significant change out here on the lake with regards to productivity. Been beautiful days for fishing. They just haven't been really good catching days. So I think that's going to be it. Wish me luck. Tomorrow I get my second COVID shot, so I'm taking a couple days off, expecting to be sick, but at least that'll be behind me. So you all have a good day. Hope your weekend is good. Hope you catch fish wherever you go. And Caleb, my little great nephew, we'll see you when we see you, but hang in there. Don't worry. When the bite actually starts getting good enough to call you, we'll get in touch with you. Thanks, peeps. Have a good one.